What's good, y'all? We are back on Planet Rell, and today we have PKJ's Green Lantern War Journal, Episode 1. Let's get into it. So we start here out in space with these astronauts, and it looked like they working on a satellite. And one of the astronauts was singing, and they start talking about music and movies. Now this astronaut says she's throwing a watch party when she gets home, and she tells one of the other astronauts that his taste in movies is Now with that explosion, that lets us know that the Revenant Queen has arrived to find this universe's John Stewart. Go watch the prelude if you haven't, and it'll let you know who the Revenant Queen is and why she's after this universe's John Stewart. So now they trying to save their friend Jane, who's the astronaut outside of the ship. Then another explosion happens while they inside. Now they trying to figure out what's going on, stuff is on fire. And Buddy asks Jane what happened, and she says she don't know. It was just a burst of light right in front of her face. And now we see the aura of the Revenant Queen and the Radiant Dead covering Jane. And she's trying to communicate to her team, but she says she can't see, her head hurts, and it feels funny to talk. Then she does see something, and she thinks it's a door, but nah, it's a ring. Now if you've watched the prelude, I told y'all we was gonna see this ring again. Now they are losing a lot of oxygen from that explosion, and Jane gets told to seal it off, and she says she sees it, but she ain't looking at it. She's looking at that ring. And I know y'all peep it too, her team in the back is losing their mind, like they about to lose their life. And now her voice starts to change, and now that she's looking at the ring, she says that's the only thing she can see, and the ring is also speaking to her. Now seeing the Revenant Queen's reflection off of her helmet was crazy. Now Jane is getting yelled at to turn on the valve to stop the air from getting leaked. And now we see Jane's human body is gone. I don't know if she's going to be a part of the Radiant Dead or if she just going to be like removed from existence. Now I'm about to tell y'all what Jane said about the ring. She says it's a door to the stars, but not our stars. It's the brightest thing she's ever seen. The ring is blinding, breathing, and singing. And y'all can see in the background, her whole team is like going crazy, like yelling her name to help them. But she ain't help him at all. And y'all already know what happened to him. I ain't even gotta say it. And I'm gonna pause the video real quick. I looked on League of Comic Geeks to see when issue 5 was coming out since I read the first 4. And I so happened to read the description for the issue. And I will tell y'all one thing from it. The ring is called the Dark Star Ring. And that's all I'm gonna tell y'all because I'm not gonna spoil y'all for the rest of what's gonna happen. And now we here with my boy, John Stewart. And while he at this red light, he looking at how much gas he got. And I will say he do need to go get some gas. Then he thinks back on one of his Green Lantern moments. Now this truck starts honking his horn at John because the light turned green. Side note, I cannot stand when people honk their horn when the light just turned green. Calm down. Now he back at home doing some more yard work. He did build a shed and his mom planted some plants. Then he pauses for a second and he thinks about a time where he was saving people as a Green Lantern. Then he gets back to finishing what he was doing. Now he's in the kitchen working on the plumbing for the sink. And his mom is done doing what she was doing outside and she wants to order some food. Then she starts to tease John about fixing the sink and putting it back how it was. But she appreciates what he's doing because he's taking his time out to fix the sink. Then she asks John, does he remember when he was a kid and he took apart his grandmother's watch? And John says that she loved that story. And his mom says that he had all the pieces laid out on the floor, neat and organized. Then when she yelled at him about it, he just said he wanted to see how it worked from the middle. And that's exactly how he does his constructs. Like this made me think of this from Green Lantern Rebirth, written by Jeff Johns. So now John's mom tells him like, yo, your sister taking a long time to get home. Call her and see what she want to eat. But John like, let's not wait for her. Then he peeps something and his mom asks him what it is. And he tells her that he forgot his tools outside. Then he does go outside and he asks a question. Is there something I can help you with? So there is somebody outside. Then he looks quickly to his right, but he doesn't see nobody. But he knows it's somebody there. So John is like, quit hiding and show yourself, bruh. You wasting time. Then out of nowhere, these chains made from Green Lantern energy break through the ground and start chaining up John. And the person that did it starts to mock John like, yo, this the great John Stewart? Then he says that John is under arrest and he tells him to surrender his ring. And if you watch the prelude, you will know that John doesn't even use a ring anymore. He doesn't even need a ring. Now we see who this person is, and John asks who he is. And this dude's name is Varen. And he must be new because John don't recognize him. And he's a part of the Green Lantern Corps for the United Planets. Now during the previous run of Green Lantern, Oa was accepted into the United Planets. And then after that, the Green Lantern Corps members that protected Earth were assigned to other sectors. The remaining sectors were washed over by the United Planets. And yes, Green Lanterns were pissed about it. Now as John is about to tell Varen that he doesn't have a ring, Varen cuts him off and says he detects hard light energies and that every person that has a ring has been accounted for except for him. Then Varen tells John that everybody there is under arrest and that he has broken interstellar law and that his home is now forfeit to the United Planets. But John is like, bruh, my mama in that house. You have no authority to do that. Then Varen cuts him off like, you ain't got no ring, right? If that's true, how do you propose to stop me? Then there's a green energy shield that stops Varen.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Now John tells Varen, I know you're not from here, and I know you don't understand the culture. I get that, but let me explain something to you. If you ever try to put a chain on me again, you better learn how to use that ring first. Then John makes a construct out of nowhere, knocking Varen into the sky. Then John flies up to him and steals on him again and tells him to never come to his mom's house. Now this dude Varen is like, I yield. John is like, already? You ain't no Green Lantern at all. Then he steals on him again. Now Varen is like, you must have a ring. And John tells him he doesn't, and that the Guardians would have known that. And as John is about to steal on Varen once again, he tells him to tell the United Planets and the other fake Lanterns that he doesn't have a ring, and that he doesn't owe any of them anything, and that if him or anybody else come looking for a fight, John is going to show them all the capabilities of what a real Green Lantern can do. Then he takes his construct and punches Varen out into space. Now John heads back in the house, and his mom thought it was raining and thundering, but he like, nah, the sky's clear. Then John gets asked about his little sister. Has she called yet? His mom wants to go to bed and she doesn't want his sister coming home to a dark house. But John is like, look, Ma, listen. And he starts to talk about something that happened years ago. Then he pauses and he just like, you know what, forget it. Then the door opens and it's his sister, a construct of his sister. Now if you watched the prelude to War Journal or read the comic, the John Stewart in the Dark Crisis tie-in did the exact same thing with his sister. And I know y'all probably wondering like, why is he doing this? I'm about to tell y'all. So John's mom asks his sister, did she have fun at her friend's house? And she says yeah, and she asks why the sink is broke. But their mom is telling her that John is fixing it. Then John's mom asks him the same question that she asked him earlier, saying the exact same thing. And he says, nah, tell me. Now that just made me realize his mom has either dementia or Alzheimer's. And the thing about his sister died when they were kids. And John making a construct for his mom just eases everything. I know I'll do the same thing for my mom if what happened in John's life happened in mine. Now one thing I want to point out, I'm glad that other Lanterns know about his mom's situation. I don't know if all of them know, but I know for sure Hal and Guy know. Now we out in space, and we at that same spot from the beginning where all that chaos happened. And Lantern Shepherd is here, and he sees that the Revenant Queen was there. Now as he flies towards the ship, his ring speaks to him like it's an actual person, like it has its own personality. And his ring is talking to him about the holes that will burn through the ship. Now based on what he says right here, it makes me realize that there is an actual person, their essence within his ring. And I do have a theory for it. I may be wrong, I may be right. I think it's Kyle Rayner's essence within his ring. And he got attacked by the Radiant Dead, and he must have did something to not like actually turn. And I say it's Kyle because we didn't see what happened to him afterwards. So now it's just up to speculation. Now we back to Shepherd, and he asks his ring, are there Radiant Dead aboard this ship? And his ring tells him that there are Radiant Dead on this ship. Then his ring tells him to be on guard because it's not gonna be good if you die out here, especially on your first day in another universe. Now the Radiant Dead come out from the shadows, and they attack Shepherd on sight. And he's fighting back, And Shepard says that the station isn't just damaged, but a part of it is missing, and that would not be good if it landed on Earth. Now as Shepard is still fighting against the Radiant Dead, his ring tells him that he's wasting time, and his ring calls him by his first name. It's Kolan. Now the Radiant Dead start to gang up on Shepard, and his ring tells him that if they've reached Earth, he's on borrowed time, so he needs to leave because the battle will not be won here. And the only way that they will destroy the Radiant Dead is by killing the Revenant Queen, and there is only one way to find her. He has to find John Stewart because she is looking for him. So Shepard got to get rid of the Radiant Dead that he's fighting against right now, and he has to find John immediately. Now before I finish this video, I want to talk about why the Green Lanterns were assigned to different sectors, and it all happened because of Dark Crisis. And this is from issue 7 of the current Green Lantern run written by Jeremy Adams. Now the last thing I want to say, the Radiant Dead reminds me of the Black Lantern Corps. And I don't know if there's any connection to each other at all, but it's just similarities. Now that was Green Lantern War Journal, issue 1. Let's talk about it in the comments, man. I want to know y'all thoughts and y'all theories on this. Like for real, let me know, cause I will talk about it. But I'll catch y'all in the next one. God bless. I'm out.